Hi everyone, welcome to the channel for new battle report. So this is game number 4 of the Leash Academy. I was playing against a very aggressive warrior of the Dark God army. You know already my list. And this was my opponent's list. So he's playing basically 4 monsters. You have a dragon, you have a Doomlord and a Wasteland Behemoth, and then 2 Feldrock Elder. And that's the main part of his list. He has also another single model that is quite strong, which is a Chosen Lord who has a 1-up rollable and demonic wings, so he can also fly. And then the rest of his army is a couple of scoring units, so Barbarian Shield, 2 units of Horsemen, a unit of Warrior Knights, so 4 scoring unit, and 2 times 8 Warhound to Chaff, and a Battle Shrine to add some magic. We were playing Spoil of War, and below you have our spell selection. I think for him worth a debate would be whether or not to select the H spell, which obviously is really good against primarily the Kadim Titan, but still it can block the Titan to play in some zone and forces me to play him differently. So could have been something he could have picked potentially. And on my side, nothing special to mention. So we play Spoil of War on End Cycle. Matchup analysis, yeah, it's an aggressive list, 4 monsters. I know what to do. I need to limit his mobility by choosing a table side, to deploy myself against, to deny him the advantage of having very mobile single model. The Dragon Occultist, I need to make his life hard with shooting and magic to make sure he cannot trouble me too more. The problem of this dragon, he has no Veil Walker, so he will be limited in range, and I want to make sure that if he goes in range of doing wounds on my Bastion, for example, I can punish him back. Game plan, kill single model, reduce the amount of threat, and then counter push on the secondary objective. I felt slightly optimistic about the matchup, slightly positive. Deployment wise, I want to roll for side. I gave him the Impassibles, plural, and then he dropped for first turn, which makes sense. He went with a special deployment, which is since I gave him the small middle where I had the big middle and the small flank, he elected to drop everything in the flanks actually. So he made one flank, which is a dragon, the Feldrock Elder, the cavalry, the unit of Barbarian with the general, and then 1 Chaff piece. And left flank is the Doomlord, the other Feldrock Elder, Horseman, the dogs, and the shrine. But these dogs have no leadership nearby, remember. And then I had to pick, for me it's rather go strong right or go strong left. Both were for me decent. I felt strong right, the advantage is I can box in the Occultist Mage and basically make sure that he won't be able to do nothing significant early on, or he will need to put himself in danger. Strong left, I'm facing 2 monsters. He can take advantage from the forest, which I didn't like. It's always something you keep in mind when you play Blunderbuss, is to have a good look at the piece of terrain that could give him cover, because it could deny significantly some of my effectivity with range damage. But on the left, what I liked was the fact that there is this piece of terrain that is reducing potentially his advance, where I have a unit of Lugars that can go through the terrain. So I think I debated a bit, and then I picked the right flank. We will see at the end if it was the right call. I place here Anointed, Blunderbuss, Bastion, Overlord start in the middle, the Lugars that can potentially go play with the Rin, then the 2 Chaff piece in the middle so potentially the goal was to slow down the left flank, get rid of the right flank, and then on the left I place the Kadim Titan that is strong enough to zone these single models, because if I place an incendiary token, then both are in big trouble. Let's move on to Eastern 1. He pushes, but he respects the Titan on the left. So he pushes a bit forward, prepare himself on the right flank. He starts to move away with the single model toward the middle of the board, which I think makes sense. He still gets 18 range on the Bastion, I think not on the Overlord. Magic Phase got a Gravecall on the Bastion, is wounding me on 3 up. I have a 5 up armor save and still kills 6 guy out of the Bastion, so that was surprising. And then Breast Weapon, but did nothing, I think, on the Bastion. I think I dispelled the Breast Weapon, so I got only Gravefall and killed 6 guys on the Bastion unit, which is always a good start. My turn 1. So I start to push the right flank, and those guys will be covering the position of the flying lord in case he wants to come here. So yeah, I'm ready, and in case he tries to put something behind, I can jump on it and shoot him. So I'm not sure it will be smart. I also made sure on turn 1 that the dragon couldn't hide behind the hill without being exposed. I have the overlord helping, and I start to retreat and continue. I want to zone this model. I don't want to allow him to go to my flank, so I continue to zone him with the Guardian Titan. Like I said, my goal is stalling the left flank. He needs to push towards the middle through a ruin, and then I have some time, and I have the Lugar and the overlord to help with, so that should be fine. In magic phase, he got a breast weapon that did nothing to my overlord, and then got on his dragon a ward save. My turn 2, that was his turn 2. Sorry, I forgot to put the picture. So he pushed slightly forward, and that's the spell he cast. So nothing so significant with the movement. My turn 2 now. Sorry. So I reform a circle where I continue to zone him. I'm quite happy about that. The Lugars come in play also to zone him. Getting magic within 18 inch of the dogs. Trying to get rid of the chaff could be key. Get those guys on the hill still covering. So I'm starting to push slightly on the right flank and the middle. My magic phase, I got Gravecall and I one-shot the dogs. So that's very nice for me. Let's move on to his turn 3. So he activate a bit the game by chaffing the dogs. With the dogs, the unit of Lugar, which is out of line of sight of the Bastion and the Titan, so I cannot terror check him, which is interesting. He pushes slightly to offer me a mid-long charge. I think it was like 10 plus, just to tempt me to charge here and be out of position. And he pushes a bit forward with his single models. As you can see, the dragon is now more on the left flank, and he moves back with the Feldrak Elder on the right flank to continue to apply some pressure here. Yeah, what I expected with my deployment was to get rid quicker of the right flank, but I didn't manage to do anything significant, as you can see, until now. So that's not so great. I think I did maybe a wound on the Feldrak Elder, or maybe forgot to mention, maybe it was the breast weapon, but not much. So got rid of the dog and a wound on the Feldrak Elder, but definitely not enough to get rid of the single model. But as you can see, after this turn, it will be dry out of chaff, meaning it will be harder for him to attack me. So that's also something positive. Magic phase, I Binding Scroll, Mark for Doom. He got Gravecall that did a wound to my overlord. Turn 3, I double charge the dogs because I need to clean them, because I checked that with the reform in the column, I can get chaffing him and be within 12 of BSB and General. So, and BSB and the Lugars are giving leadership nearby. So I felt that's perfect because I got rid of a chaff and then I chaff him. And I'm ready with the Lugars. He cannot overrun into me, so he can come with the Shrine and the Dragon, but I'm not sure that's enough. I retreat slightly with the Overlord. I don't want to get more missiles on myself, so I stay here. Yeah, the main goal will be also to strengthen somehow the right flank to make sure that I can push and finally grab a token, because as you can see, he grabbed the one on the left. So at the moment he has one, I have nothing. Continue to move back with Titan and zoning. I'm ready to grab whatever he might use to charge my vassals. And the Bastion is in range to cast at the Doomlord, starting to do some job here. Magic phase. Gravecall, 2 wounds on the Doomlord, so that's a nice start. And then I also got a breast weapon that managed to do another wound. So that's 3 wounds. He's in a ruin, so that's quite good. Quite happy about that. Close combat, I killed dogs, I chaff. He's turn 4, he elected not to charge with the Doomlord on 4 wounds remaining. Place himself here. Pushes the dragon all the way here. Push a bit forward with the Feldrak Elder, so he doesn't charge the chaff. Move those guys a bit forward, the shrine. And he also doesn't move much. In the magic phase, got a Gravecall, killed 3 Lugars, but he miscast and does 2 wounds to his own dragon, so really happy about the trade-off here. What else? Got Mark for Doom on 3 dice against my 5 dice and managed to do 2 wounds to the Kadim Titan, so that was nice for him. And then he got a breast weapon from the dragon and did 5 wounds to the vassal that stick the 9 rollable check. So all good, but yeah, nice magic phase for him, but in the process he lost 2 wounds on the dragon, which I'm quite happy with. So overall, not unhappy with the turn of event. My turn 4. Continue to push on the right flank slowly but surely. I know that next turn I need to jump on the points, turn around those guys, prepare some, yeah, just He has some long charges, nothing crazy. I'm continuing to zoning and ready to try to be more active later on. The Chaff is also repositioned all the way here. So I started in the middle, moved all the way here to try to Chaff later on the right flank, which allows me then to push. So I'm getting ready, I'm being very patient here. The magic phase, Mark for Doom, 3 dice against 4, got Dispel on the Doom Lord. Then I got a breast weapon. I managed to do 1 wound on his Feldrak Elder on the right flank. I think Mark for Doom was also on the Feldrak Elder because I felt that the Doom Lord with 4 wounds remaining was not anymore a huge threat for me. So I really wanted to get rid of the Feldrak Elder on the right flank, which I felt was a key piece on holding the Steadfast, holding the KG, on the KG situation on the right flank, I would say. So yeah, Mark for Doom Dispel and breast weapon only a wound. So he has, I think, 4 wounds left at this point of time. He's turn 5. He charges with the dragon to get rid of the slave, but lost in the process another 2 wounds from DT. So out of 3 dice, he loses 2 wounds on the dragon, meaning he has only 2 wounds left. Okay, interesting, very interesting. The rest remains quite cagey. He offers me now still a middle charge for the Titan against his Feldrak Elder. As you can see, I place early on, I forgot to mention, an incendiary token on the Feldrak Elder. So I'm not really afraid by the Feldrak Elder. I surely wanted to avoid him moving out of my angles. But other than that, yeah, nothing too crazy. In the magic phase, he got, I dispelled the Grave Call. I don't know where he cast it. Maybe, I think on the Canim Titan boosted, but I was able to dispel that. Mark for Doom got cast on the Titan, but I got a ward save. And he miscast. It was funny because he miscast again. Miscast number 3, which did nothing to him this time. Close combat, he killed all except 2 of the vassal. Passes his restraint check, which is also important. And stays here, and my vassal are fleeing. My turn. And something is missing. I charge with the Titan onto the dragon. He fails another 2 GT and dies. So that ruin did a lot of damage on his dragon. Did 4 wounds, so that's crazy. I redirect and charge onto the Feldrak Elder that also flees. What else? I move forward with the Lugars, the Blunderbuss unit, and the other Blunderbuss unit. So I have 2 units on the token, and I'm ready to shoot him. I chaff the cavalry unit on the right, and basically my goal will be to shoot the Feldrak Elder to death, get rid of him, and then should be fine. Get an Overlord in a position to get counter charges, and as you can see, hidden behind the Overlord is the small BSB to be able to extend my BSB range to all units that matters. So that was quite funny. That's the remaining Lugar that is fleeing. In the magic phase, we'll target obviously the Feldrak Elder on the right flank. So I cast Mark for Doom, does a wound, and then with all my shooting, which was something like 30 shots, I killed the Feldrak Elder. So quite happy about that. Let's move on to his turn. He double charge onto my Lugars, loses a wound on the shrine due to DT. That will be an interesting combat. And rallies his Feldrak Elder. The rest move just out of the way. In magic phase, and no DTs on the Doom Lord, because that could have been also something that matters. Yeah, I tried to 5 dice the shrine, but I dispel it. And then close combat was quite funny, because my Lugar managed to got the 20% chance of one-shotting the shrine, which is really cool. So I one-shot the shrine, the Doom Lord was stuck in the challenge, and the shrine also fluffed his attack. So it's a draw combat, meaning I have a couple of counter charges. I have the Overlord that can go in the flank, the Titan in the front, or reform them wider. Plenty of choice. We'll just go in with the Titan, try to kill him. And then here I go all the way wide that I can to try to delete those guys with all shooting magic. Magic, I get, I think, a breast weapon, and then between the breast weapon and all the shots I got, I delete like the 17 barbarian that were alive. So everything dies except the Chosen Lord. Here I got an attribute of alchemy. I just killed the Doom Lord with the Cannon Titan. And that's the end of the game. So I got plenty of points from turn number 5. As you can see, before that it was pretty cagey, and then I was able to activate and get a lot of points, included the secondary objective, which moved me on 19-1, which was definitely not expected at the end of turn 4. So I was finally able to turn on the game, to switch on and push forward. Post-game analysis, yeah, deployment, I was blocked on the right flank, and I would say, in hindsight, I should have rather deployed on the left. I think it would have been easier to push forward, because the unit of Barbarian with all those ranks in combination, in a combo charge with 1 or 2 monsters was too scary for me, because they have the rank to delete my steadfast, and that was dangerous. I think if I would have done left flank, I could have pushed much more forward. And as you can see, I'm quite effective against the Doomlord. So I think I should have deployed left and zoned the right flank. I could have done pretty much the same strategy, but all the way around, so turn around basically. His combo of Barbarian, Monsters and Cavalry, like I said, blocked me on the right, so that's why I'm saying that. Counter push middle, in the middle and the right flank late on in the game. And yeah, the Monsters took a lot of wounds, especially the Dragon. I mean, 2 wounds on the charge, 2 wounds on the flee. That was really brutal for him. Turn 6, Warrior, I think, yeah, unlucky combat issue. His goal, he didn't go into sacrifice by charging. His idea was, maybe he can, first of all, it forces me a steadfast check on 8 rollable. And that was also his idea that it's a lot of point with the secondary. So if he breaks them, yeah, that could matter a lot. Depends also if the shrine survived, then he can do some switching of reforms to optimize that. So yeah, he had some options here. He tried to go for it, to try to save the game, but it didn't matter. And then turn 6, it was all about collecting the fruits for me. And I think on the Warrior side, we could say he could have taken more risk on the left. I mean, if you check the number of units that he has on the left and the middle, he could have tried to push more. Put Barbarian in front of me. I mean, 1 unit of Barbarian did nothing, so try to chaff the Titan and push behind. Even with the Elder, risk some charge and then eat me with the Doomlord. I mean, when you have more resources than your opponent, you can sometimes take some risk and then accept the trade-off of resources, because in this case, what he lost is time. I mean, he was never able to get in the right momentum in combat, and then he lost his Chaff, and the time was actually running in my favor instead of the opposite. Overall, in the round, we won all games, so we got a very good win, and after the round 4, we know already that we won the tournament. So quite happy about that. We have one more to play, but we did what, yeah, quite happy with the performance here. And let's see what comes next for the last battle report of the tournament. Thanks us for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye.